What's going on, everybody? This is going to be another in-depth guide, this time on the Tower of Total Liabilities by Delusion. It's about low to mid terrifying on the difficulty chart, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Alright, so immediately once you spawn in, you're going to want to just click up to that button and get started. Don't listen to that sign, it's here to discourage you. Anyways, to start, I would recommend just climbing on this part a little bit upwards so you can get enough height to climb on this. Just the fastest way to do the first jump. Yeah, like I said, I'm only going to talk about stuff that's actually complicated. For now, I'll just be showing you where to go. Carefully flick onto this in the middle of this one. Unroll that ladder. This isn't insta-kill, so avoid all those at all costs. Now, you can either do a wall hop skip here if you want to, just like this, and just turn into there, or just go to the normal way, which I don't know why. You should probably just go to the normal way. It's not long. So yeah, just come down here, easy jumps, and then follow me in this mini maze. It's really easy. Just go over here, and then walk onto there. Simple jumps. Welcome to floor 2. Floor 2, yeah, you have to wrap around that onto here. So make sure to go on this side because you can't. There's an insta kill on this other side, and there's nowhere to go. So just come over here with an insta kill. Now these are extremely annoying. Like this is like the main gimmick of the tower, kind of. They basically instantly fall as soon as you jump on them. So yeah, I would recommend starting like from this angle, and then just as soon as you jump on this one, just flick your camera onto that one, and so on. That's the easiest way to do that one, I think. And for this, you can just, jump to the stud or just do a hit it or up. It doesn't matter. For this, I've seen people get confused, and I have too. So just go on to probably this stud. And as soon as you reach this wall, you're going to want to do like a, just kind of want to turn like a little bit. Just kind of like turn in, like boom, like that. And this is a wall, but I would recommend once you get past this wall, don't move because you could overshoot it. So just be careful about that. As soon as you spawn this ball, you're going to want to quickly just do some wraparounds onto here. And once you press that button, you should be good because it'll just go down and you can go back down. This ball presses a button down there and it spawns like, I don't know, 10 stud wraparound or whatever. Maybe not, I don't know. And then just carefully jump down to here. Make sure to press W once you reach that so you just don't get, clipped off. And then carefully do jump up to there like that. And then these are seats, so white ones are spinning and then black ones are just normal. Also, yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, if you fall here, it's okay, because it's just a fake teleporter, so. And then floor 3, so starts with an easy ladder. I would recommend not flicking here, because it's very, you don't got a lot of space to, so just kind of quickly turn around, because slowly doing it is very risky, so. Set this jump up like so, and then just W and jump to here, with your camera angle too, obviously. And be careful about that, because you could get your head hit on just nothing, so. Jump into here, and then just set it up so you don't jump into the pit. Okay, and then you got the fan mechanic. Most fans are easy, but there's like a couple that are a little tricky, so I'll get into those when they get there. So this one's pretty straightforward. Just jump whenever you need to. WASD do not affect your movement in the fans, only jumping. Jumping makes you move slightly faster. So now for this, the seat's gonna, whenever you jump, it's gonna put you on the other side of the frame. So as soon as you get on the seat and then go into this hole, you're gonna want to jump and obviously get out the way of that cap. Some easy ladder jumps, and then I would recommend just you can either jump from here so you don't get the slanted effect, or just kind of just walk forward, jump so you don't get a slanted effect either, and then jump to this black seat, wait for the seat to arrive, jump to it, avoid the insta kill, and then you're good. For this, you can either just do a funny wall hop, skip, for some reason if you just want to be risky, or just the normal way, just jump down here, tested wrap, and then kind of a little tight jump to here. It's not nothing crazy though. Then around onto the thin stud, be careful about that. Around that ladder, burn onto here, and then this awkward ladder, don't worry, it's normal. And then avoid the insta kill pit down there. It's easy one studs, you shouldn't fall. It's tightrope. Don't jump on this one because you could get like the thin stud splits or whatever and just freaking fall off. And then welcome to the next fan. This one's a bit more tricky, but I'll just tell you what to do. So all you need to do is just come on here, jump whenever you need to, but for the last part right here, I would skip the last jump because it's kind of hard to time that. You can either just climb down and flick or just jump off into it. Either one's easy. And then slanted X pusher. Make sure to jump at the latest time possible. And then this will be important for later because whenever you complete this section, it's button progress, so you can skip it. This part's easy. It may look intimidating. All you need to do is just wait for. You could probably skip onto there, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just wait for the big block on the yeah, right here, and then it's just gonna be a lot of waiting. So I'll cut to whenever you can jump. Well, actually, you can jump right here and then to here, but this requires some waiting. Okay, so whenever you get to about right here, you're gonna want to jump down to this part, and then whenever you get to about right here, you're gonna want to jump down to this part. Now just jump down to this button. You can time it so that this platform lines up with that, but it's really lenient, so you shouldn't really need to worry. Just jump back onto the platform, and then just do this time gameplay. It's super easy. You don't need to worry. Carefully come over here, and then once you get this button, you get the button progress that I mentioned earlier. So congratulations. Although this tower is very unforgiving, so I don't be surprised if you die and lose it. Carefully come across this tightrope, and now you can just skip that part now. And welcome to floor 5. This floor is pretty annoying, but it is safety netted for the most part. Just glide across these ladders carefully though, because there's a bunch of insta kills. As soon as this insta kill goes in, you just want to jump and then quickly flick again up here, and then wait for this one to go past, then just jump off again and flick over here. This is probably one of the hardest falling platform thing timings. So what I do, this first one, the same thing as the first one that was on like 4-2 whatever. As soon as you jump on it, immediately flick around, so you get a lot of leeway for the last ones, because you're gonna need that. The first one determines how close you make the jump, because if you're barely making the platforms like over there, you're not gonna make it. So yeah. This jump is really annoying, because you can so easily die, so just make sure to hold jump here, and then, carefully onto this wedge. Yeah, I've died here so many times, because wedge physics are weird, because whenever you try to jump, like, from low down, like, probably, like, here, you're gonna touch the insta-kill, so come out to the middle of the wedge, like, probably, like, right here, and you should be good to just wedge yourself into this little part. Just be very careful, because I've died there so many times just out of physics glitches. Come up to these thin studs, and then around here, and this is a teleporter, so just jump on it. So you need to get this button to spawn the falling platforms that are going to be up here, so just come over here, I jump up there, and yeah, I'd recommend doing this backwards, so just start here, again, flick around carefully. Now, you may hit your head on that part for some reason, but as long as you do the first one pretty precise, you should have enough leeway to make the last ones. Time this insta-kill, and then just walk off. Be careful though, because your arms can hit it. The Zeals in this tower are very evil. Careful about these really thin parts, and then just wrap around here. Come up here and do a 10-stud jump that is kind of, you're gonna have to like wedge yourself in because it's a low roof. Careful about the stin gameplay, it's still pretty easy. And we'll go to the outside. This outside is not too bad, but it's very janky and it's easy to screw up because, I mean, just look at this. This is for button progress that you can unlock optionally, but we'll get into that when we get there. So first things first, jump onto this ladder. Make sure you're in the middle because it is very easy to just fall off of those because of how they're slanted. Do not touch these seats. You want to purposely avoid these. So I'd recommend turning in and then just do like a little bit of a turn and wrap around like there's a giant wall here, because you don't want any of your parts to hit the seats or else you're going to be cooked basically. The seats literally just teleport you to the void. You're cooked. So jump carefully into here and then wedge yourself into that space, and then do a 10-stud wrap again, and then just do a little bit of a wall hop there. And you're safe for this entire part. There is insta-kills, but they're easy to avoid, so but yeah, welcome to floor 6. Alright, so starts with some easy tightrope gameplay. Don't go too far, because if you hit this part, you're probably going to go sliding off. Jump up here, and just to make it easier, you don't jump up there, just jump over here so you can avoid that insta-kill entirely. And then wait for this seat, and do a wrap around to this seat. And this part is a little sketchy. It's going to teleport you over here, so just jump to this thin stud, and then around. It's really easy, you shouldn't have to worry. And next fan part, this part's still pretty easy, but I'll show you what to do once you get to the thin studs. So you just normally go about your way, and then hold jump once you get to all the thin studs. But make sure to jump pretty late before you get to them, or else you probably won't make the last one. And once you get this button, you don't have to do any of that again, because you can just skip to this part, which is also safety netted. Although beware, this part is not safety netted after you get here, because you have to do a ball rolling section. So press this button, and then touch the sign like it says, and welcome to the first ball rolling section. So these are pretty sketchy, but as long as you just follow my movement, you should be good. A lot of it is just maintaining balance, because one false movement and you're probably going to go tumbling off. So hug these walls as much as you can, because these are very important. And once you get into like freeway area with no walls, you're just really going to really try to balance. If you're rolling one way, roll the other, just so on forth, but don't roll too much, because just keep it balanced. These can be a little tricky because you're in a ball, but they're still pretty easy. Just wait like you always would, but just make sure to tap W. Don't really hold it, because you'll probably go flying. And you got some railings for this part, and just come into here, another timing. Pretty simple. And then this part's gonna boost you, but don't be afraid, it's supposed to. And then come over here and you're done with that part. So yeah. Now don't fall here, and you should be able to make it to the inside of floor 6. Yeah, don't go too high up and just wrap around up to here. Avoid those insta-kills and avoid this one too. Watch out for that. And welcome to the inside. So yeah, remember the button progress I mentioned at the start of the floor 5 outside right over there? So you can either go this route to unlock it, which skips this entire outside that you just did, or just go to the normal way and just, risk falling and having to do it again. Now, this route is not that hard if you know what you're doing, so I might as well just show both. Just wrap onto here. It's a pretty simple camera control, but they are pretty long. For this jump, I'd recommend just, jumping and lodging in, but if you're not good at rate of lodging, then yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for you probably. It's not that bad, but I would just recommend launching. Kind of a tight jump here, but you should be good if you just force yourself into there. Carefully jump around here, and then that is basically it. It's not hard, but you gotta be very careful because the jumps aren't really easy anyway. You're gonna have to go the normal way regardless, but that's pretty obvious. So yeah, now you have that door unlocked, and essentially, you can just, once you get this outside, just, climb these studs up to here, and you will be able to skip all that. But, as I said earlier, it is very easy to die in this tower, so don't be surprised if you die. But I recommend getting it anyway because it's very useful. Let's continue. So from around to here. Oh yeah, fun fact, I forgot to say, all this tower songs are just mashups, which is pretty funny. So you're probably gonna hear a lot of familiar songs just mashed together. More spinning seats, nothing to worry about. You're safe up until this area, so be careful about this. Something weird can happen. Like back then, I don't know if it still exists, but the seats would give you a speed boost, kind of like a speed glitch. And I don't know why, but it was only this specific part. Oh yeah, keep in mind these walls are cankelite falls, these Kubrick walls, so you're gonna want to jump to the studs. But yeah, I think I might still even have the boost. It's hard to tell, but you can notice like a slight different. Very strange, but yeah. Anyways, that part wasn't too hard. Now, this jump is pretty treacherous, I can't lie. Let's get to, like, this edge right here. Don't go too far because it's thin stud. And then as soon as you make this wall, like, turn this wall, you're going to want to flick hard into this ladder because you do not have a lot of leeway at all. You got to be fierce, but just make sure to aim for the corner. And then just be careful once you're climbing up. This maze is also easy. Just follow me to here. Should be just come all the way down here, and then you got a ladder. Careful those end skills. Welcome to floor 7. This floor is very short, but it does have hard raw gameplay, just so you know. But don't worry, the gameplay isn't that hard. It's just like sketchy. So jump around into here. I would recommend just turning a little bit, but be careful because it's thin half stud, so you can walk off. All you need to do is just tap S and then flick around into here, or shift flick into there, shift up to here, and then wrap around into this little gap, and then turn kind of tightly, but don't turn too much because you will hit this wall on your way. Just walk around these. Careful of this insta kill, so come down here, and then walk around off to here, and then jump down here. Carefully wrap onto this ladder. I'd do it pretty tightly because it's thin stud ladder, so, and then you just got like a 10 stud wrap. Careful not to high jump onto there. I think I've died from that once. I did say the insta kills were treacherous. Anyways, continue on these. You shouldn't worry about dying here. The 3 studs high, so shouldn't get glitched. Looking to floor 8. This floor is pretty tough, but mainly for the starting points, so carefully wrap into here, and then onto the stud here. Okay, this part, another falling platform part, but start forwards. Just follow my movement, basically. So the first two are important to get right. Just jump on them forwards, and then go into shift lock for the last ones. And just kind of keep turning your camera because they all go in like a circular pattern, and then as soon as you jump on the last one, turn into here tightly. And as long as you do that, you should be good. Falling platforms in this tower are going to be very inconsistent. Sometimes they might even knock each other off too, just because the way they fling. So yeah, this tower is pretty bullcrap sometimes. Just know that. Carefully climb around this ladder. Yeah, once again, as soon as you spawn this ball, you want to run, but don't go too fast because you are above an insta kill. And once you press that button, you are safe. So just come back down, to here. I'd recommend just jumping off to here, come on the railings, over to this purple part, and continue outside. So yeah, carefully jump into there. Yeah, I would recommend just holding jump for this. Avoid these rings. And then yeah, use the neon part as a marker to jump. So what it's saying basically is that little neon part right there, jump into this seat, and you don't have to time it right away, but as soon as you hit this little neon part, just jump. And you'll be good, because it'll fling you into this black part. Finish up this outside with some easy jumps. Careful with these head editors. Jump right into here, climb it. This part, I wouldn't recommend going the normal way because it's kind of sketchy to jump on the layer, so just jump on top of the fan. This part's easy. It's like the last fan part, so it's easy. Yeah, you don't need to worry. Simple jump seat again. Careful off this tightrope. Then wrap around into here. And welcome to floor 9. This floor is pretty sketchy, mostly on the outside because it's another ball rolling part. Probably harder, so yeah. Anyways, you got some like 11 set jumps probably. Nothing crazy. And then like it suggests, filler parts. So I'd recommend just long jumping onto here sideways. And you can easily just skip like all of that, but if you don't want to skip it, this isn't a secure triple spike. So yeah, I would recommend just, it's kind of scary, but yeah, wrap outwards. As soon as you're about to just miss the platform, you gotta turn in tightly. Anyways, I recommend skipping it though, just because you don't have to jump down into there. You can just walk off into here, and yeah, here's the ballowing part. So touch the button, hit the sign, and here we go. So you don't have to worry for the first part because you shouldn't be able to fail to fall off the railings. This is where it really begins. So yeah, these are pretty wide, but yeah, be careful. This ball is very unstable, so you gotta really try your best to balance it, and it will push you up. Don't worry about getting stuck. Hug this wall, and then as soon as you stop hugging it, just make sure to bounce it again, because forces of evil are not with you. And before you go into here, just make sure to line it up and just hold W into there. And yeah, it can ragdoll you sometimes, but you should be fine as long as you're just against this wall. And then just carefully, very, very carefully across this platform. This is like the thinnest platform to go across, so just make sure it's centered at all times. Stop right about here and then do a turn, center it again, center it, and then just crash over into this wall to be safe. And that is basically it. Just come on these railings. It'll push you to the end over here. And that is the end of floor 9. And come up this ladder and get ready for the final floor. Floor 10. So this floor is entirely deaths. There's no safe parts at all. So don't underestimate any of these long jumps, first of all, just to be as safe as possible. This is an actual part. There's a teleporter up ahead. So yeah, just jump carefully onto this ladder. Very, very carefully. You do not want to fall at all. And going to this portal, welcome to the real deal. Okay, so self-explanatory. There's 4 buttons you need to go. Right here, 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 and here. Each one leads to a button. And then once you get all 4 buttons, you want to go on this path. But I'm just going to go in order starting from here. So yeah, I'll just show you what to do for all of them. So they're not that hard. Floor 10 is not that hard, but it's all insta kill, so you gotta be careful about falling. So for this, I'd recommend just going straight and then just doing hovering in midair, because climbing on that is not recommended at all. It's very risky. Jump onto this hanging platform. This jump is a little sketchy, but as long as you do what I do, you should be fine. So just kind of line up, turn like a normal wraparound, but what you're going to do, as soon as you jump and reach the max height of your jump, turn into the part like this, and you should be good once you do that. Yeah, just be careful about that. Then just some easy jumps, and that's the first button. For the second one, yeah, this is like a 1x6, so just be very careful. And then tie rope, again, fog makes it very difficult to see, but it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Carefully jump off this forwards, climb into this. You should be good. Just make sure you get into this gap first, and then onto this one stud. You can either skip around onto that part, but I'd recommend just doing it normally because you don't want to risk anything. Now come up onto here, jump to this slanted part, jump off like right here, and then flick up to here. Take all these flicks slow because, like I said, it's very easy to feel out of flicks when you're under pressure. Jump to the middle of this, and that's your second button. Now, this part is pretty scary. Follow me on these jumps. Don't go too ahead, though, because there is an instigal spinner. Don't underestimate this jump. It's pretty long. So yeah, stop here. There's a giant instigal spinner, and you're basically just want to time your jumps every time it goes past. So I'll show you. So just go jump here, jump, jump, jump. You can do it forwards or sideways. Jump, 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 and then just jump up to here because it can't reach you when you're there. And then that's the third button. Alright, for the last button, this one can be pretty buggy because it has seats, so just be careful. Flick onto here, go this way specifically onto this platform, and then you're just going to time it. As soon as you see the white one, I'd recommend just jumping like around now. You should be fine. You're going to want to jump into that gap in the corner right here. Okay, so this part is a little glitchy, so be very careful. Okay, so jump into this black part, and then jump and just tap W. Jump and tap W again, and then quickly go up to there so the seat cooldown doesn't reset and you get that stuck on back on that one. And yeah, just jump onto this one to here. Yeah, because sometimes it can glitch you if you. So don't jump too fast because I've gotten ragdoll before. It's very buggy, so just be careful about that. Anyways, just do some easy jumps and carefully onto this black platform, and there you go. All the buttons are collected. Now just come across the button platforms. Be careful though. Don't underestimate any of the jumps. This one's sort of long. And then on down into this platform and just onto the ladder. So all this stuff to use wind pad now. 10-stud wraparound. So yeah, if you fall here, you're cooked. So just 10-stud wraparound, control your nerves. You should be good. And once you get here, literally just like, for whatever way I'm facing, like I'm facing this way. So just hold D and jump. Or, whatever, A and jump. It's the easiest way to do that. Do not fall here because, yeah, I think you can tell what that's going to do. So I'll line it up. Oops, yeah. No, you just get teleported onto the wind pad. So once you make it here, you've officially completed the Tower of Total Liabilities, and the wind pad should be right here. So yeah, that is the tower. It is a very treacherous tower. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bit underrated in difficulty, to be honest. It's pretty dang annoying. Yeah, that's all I have to say for that. So hopefully this guide helped you, and that's, I guess, my cue to go. All right, see ya.
Wait. Well, Adamir? Adamir? Is that you?